Well, it's January in Utah. You wouldn't think so. The Deer Creek is not frozen. It was frozen for a while, and then it's thawed out. We're having really a mild winter. We're at the mouth of the Provo River, where it goes into Deer Creek, and we're upstream from the bridge there at Charleston, and we're going to try to catch some trout. Well, we're going to catch some trout. We're not going to just try to catch trout. Dan has one on here, something on there. Actually, near the lake like this, it could be something besides a trout. It could even be a walleye or smallmouth bass, but it's a whitefish. We're using egg patterns. That's what we characteristically do in the deep part of the wintertime. There just aren't really very many hatches, and the sow bugs I think are dormant or something. They're not drifting around, and very few midges and so forth. So we'll feed him something that's irresistible. That bright colored little orange egg. May not be fancy, but well, when February comes and we have the big midge hatches, then we'll fish on top. Right now we're doing what we have to do. The brown trout in the other parts of the Provo, we can catch them, but they're on the bottom in the big holes, and they're taking it easy because of the spawn. But we're down here to get rainbows because they're available. The rainbows are in the lake. They're planted in the lake, of course, most of them. The river comes down in the Charleston area, and then the lake is backed up almost to this point. And this is unusual. From my experience, it's unusual. Usually the lake's lower this time of year, much lower, and there's a channel going out from the Charleston Bridge, and usually I'm at home taking it easy. Dan and I decided that we're gonna get out of the house, as he would say, and get out and get some fresh air and go catch something. And the most reasonable thing to do is go where all these rainbows are. These are not big fish. We're really happy to get them, by golly. It's nice to be home by the fire if you have one, but it's even better to be out and catching something. These little guys are really good to eat, by the way. It's an interesting day today. That the clouds come and go, and it's bright sometimes, and then it's dark sometimes. And as we got further, when we started, it was still, but as the day progressed, there was a front coming through, and we started to get more wind. And the fishing was actually better when we started. It got progressively more difficult. We were using an indicator, the thingamabobber. There's a lot of different indicators to use. This is basically kind of a float, but we can loop it onto the line, and it's a good way to fish. We had some people fishing across from us, and they were using the power bait, and they were catching fish. We were catching fish about as fast as they were. They were fishing right on the bottom with the power bait floating up, but we were drifting our egg patterns, and also some San Juan worms or some Provo River worms. We had some success with that. The water wasn't very clear here, not as clear as it would be further up near Jordanelle, for various reasons. I don't know why exactly, but there's more silt down here. But and the water's warmer down here because of the inflow from the big spring creek about half a mile above where we are. So this is an ideal place. A stream inlet where fish can come up from the lake, food comes down the river, and you have warmer water entering from a big spring creek not too far upstream. So this is a good place to be in the wintertime. Of course, it lacks something in terms of peaceful environment with the cars going by on the road and everything. But you take what you can get. Okay, we could be home reading a book or something, or working on our computers like we do all the time. But we've got to get out every once in a while. And this was a lot of fun. As it got later in the day, the light was starting to fail us, and it was getting colder. The wind was blowing, and the wind blowing up the canyon and across that cold water. And so we were just about done. So Dan had to catch another one, though. He was toughing it out. He said his feet were cold. I can believe that. That water is cold. So we decided to go home, and I guess the coots were going home too. I don't know. I guess they should stay up here. I don't know what they were doing. Anyway, they're leaving. So are we.